We're not here to be liked, we're here to compete. Crystal Palace match preview. Welcome back to the video channel, Newcastle fans. If you are new to Black and White Banter, you've just stumbled across this video for the very first time, this channel, make sure you drop down, give us one of these, because apparently the YouTube algorithm gets us a little bit further up search bars with more of them little thumbs up. Only takes you a second. And if you do like my opinion by the end of this video, hit that little subscribe button and you'll get a notification every time one gets posted. And if you haven't already, Black and White Banter is a pretty big deal on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter as well. So get us on those social media channels. I started that video with a quote from Eddie Howe in his press conference today, just before I touch on the Crystal Palace game, which I just thought was absolutely incredible. I mean, Eddie Howe, in my opinion, in his press conferences, cannot put a foot wrong. Everything he says with passion. He keeps it solely about Newcastle. He doesn't like to talk about opposing teams too much. He's very cards close to his chest in terms of giving anything away, but he's always focused on his football club, and he speaks with pride. And when he was asked about us getting booed off at Anfield on Wednesday by them awful Scousers, his response was basically, look, I don't mind us getting booed off. We're not here to take sympathy claps off, boos off, applause off any team leaving the field. We want to be booed, and if we're getting booed, we're doing something right because we're here to compete. And I love that. Absolutely love it. This is the new Newcastle. New project, new manager, and it's statements like that you just wouldn't hear under previous manager. I'm not going to say the name. We all know who I'm talking about, but you just wouldn't hear it. And we literally gave them such a game on Wednesday, one of the best teams in Europe. So unfortunate and undeserved to not come away with at least a point from that game. And it was just a sign that we are going in the right direction. And we've built so much in a year. So yeah, I just wanted to start with that because that was a wonderful bit of media from Eddie Howe today when he was asked the question about Wednesday. So here we are. Another home game. The games have come thick and fast. 3 in a week. 3 in less than a week, actually. Crystal Palace at home. Not the easiest of games by any means. Crystal Palace have had a very difficult start to their season fixture-wise, but they've given a pretty decent account of themselves. They obviously got a point at Anfield, like we should have on Wednesday. They've gone toe-to-toe with Man City at the Etihad. They went 2-0 up in that game a couple of weeks ago, and they are literally showing some positive stuff. And Patrick Vieira, I think it's safe to say, is doing a very good job over there. So this is by no means going to be an easy game. Crystal Palace like to play on the counter-attack. They have loads of pace. Wilfried Zaha, he's never really got the best of us in his time up at St. James Park. I remember a couple of years ago, Manquillo had his absolute pants down when we beat them 1-0, when Miggy scored his first goal for us. But again, this is a dangerous team, well-drilled defensively, and it's not going to be easy opposition. But I do really fancy us on Saturday. I think, not necessarily wounded animal, but I think all of that frustration from the game at Anfield on Wednesday, conceding in the very last minute, the last minute that shouldn't have been, of course. The less said about that, the better. I've already got them rants out my system. All of that frustration must have built up on that training ground in the last couple of days. Every single one of them players will have been hurting from that. So let's take it into this Palace game and use it as a weapon. And I honestly believe that's why we are going to come out all guns blazing. As we've already, in our last 2 home games, we've already done that. I think the crowd's playing a massive part in that with the war flags displays, the atmosphere being the best it's ever been, sellouts every week. You can't get a ticket for loving the money. Nottingham Forest, we absolutely destroyed them from the first whistle to the last. Man City, one of the best teams in the world. We went toe-to-toe with them all the way in what was one of the best matches I've ever seen at St. James Park. So why can't we do the same tomorrow? Fueled by what happened in Anfield, I think we'll be absolutely all guns blazing again. And don't forget, Saturday is Isak's Premier League home debut. So that's exciting. We've all seen him at Anfield. I was down there on Wednesday. We saw what he could do. Lovely finish. Should have had 2 goals because his second one that wasn't allowed was absolutely fantastic. Going past players like they weren't there and burying the ball in the bottom corner. So here he is, seeing St. James's Park for the first time, seeing what war flags have got up the sleeve. I don't know this time. They normally put teasers out. So I think we're going into that one blind. Will it be about him? I don't know, but exciting again. And I honestly I think there's going to be such a buzz in the air from him making his debut at home that I just think we're going to smash them. Again, I don't fear Crystal Palace. Obviously, I started by saying how it's not easy opposition, but the way the Premier League season started, there isn't any easy opposition. Every team seems to be going toe-to-toe with the other team, but the intensity that we play with at the moment, as Liverpool found out on Wednesday, is just proven too much for sides. And St. James's Park has been an absolute fortress now since Eddie Howe came into the club. And I think that's why we're going to take the points tomorrow. Now, team selections. Obviously, Eddie Howe sprung some changes on Wednesday. None of us were expecting to see Botman out of the team or Fabian Schär, if I'm being totally honest with you. Would I bring them back in? I think I would. I thought Lascelles, as much criticism as he's come in for lately at Wednesday, really composed himself well, and we were really, really solid defensively. I felt like Liverpool could have put ball off the ball into the box and it wouldn't have been a problem. But I would like to see Botman, who, by the way, 100% aerial duels. What a record that is with the minutes he's had under his belt now. So I want to see him back in. Solid as houses he's looked so far, but very, very good on the ball as well and composed. And Fabian Schär, same again, he hasn't put a foot wrong, and I still think that is our main two. I think Dan Burn and Lascelles have done themselves no harm in knocking on the door. To get in that team in healthy competition is fantastic. Trippier, Matt Targett, I think they speak for themselves. Matt Targett on Wednesday against Mo Salah was fan-bloody-tastic. So as long as that continues. Midfield, now we don't know. Eddie Howe's kept his cards close to his chest on whether Maximin or Bruno are going to be fit. I think he does it tactically because Patrick Vieira at Crystal Palace is going to be preparing for them maybe not to be. So he's not going to give away too much in his pre-match press conference. I think one of them is going to be fit. And I think they both get in if they both were. I think it's more likely to be Bruno, if just my opinion. I think Bruno's had longer to recover now. Maximin's only just hurt himself on Sunday. I think Bruno might come into the mix and Maximin might make the substitutes bench. If that is the case, I think it goes without saying that he would go straight back in the team over Sean Longstaff. I thought Sean Longstaff was better on Wednesday. He got a lovely assist. But I think it's not an area, and that's where Eddie Howe's probably transfer frustration, as it's got to the end, has come from. We don't have enough competition for Bruno to be staying out of that team. I don't think Sean Longstaff is doing enough to keep the Brazilian magician out of the side. So that's where I would go. Obviously, Sean Longstaff to stay in if he's not. I know Elliot Anderson's barking on the door, but he just doesn't have that experience for me yet to start a Premier League match. The one thing that I've been on the fence about is Ryan Fraser. I thought Ryan Fraser on Wednesday at Anfield was fantastic. Does he break into the team? Does he stay in the side? I know Almiron's playing on the right-hand side. Do you go with Isak up front or Isak on the left? Well, that was a big debate going into the game at Anfield. Some people said they would have liked Chris Wood to stay in the team. For me, from what I saw on Wednesday, Ryan Fraser on the left, he's an absolute workhorse, but I think at times he's got decent final product as well when he really gets his head down, and he's just an absolute workaholic. So him and Almiron on each wing against the likes of Zaha are just going to be absolutely wonderful because they are a counter-attacking team with pace, as I mentioned at the start. So I'd definitely go with him. And then Isak up front. I mean, we don't want to jump the gun too much from the first game, but he does look pretty good. 58 million is a lot of money, but in the current market, is it? And let's face it, he doesn't decide his price tag. He just looked solid. He's got pace. He wasn't scared to chase balls down. Because at first I was worried. He's not an out-and-out striker from what I've read. He likes to be very involved. And I saw him isolated for spells in Anfield, and I thought, is he happy out there? But first goal, crash bang wallop, top corner, wonderful. Second goal that should have been pace to burn. Alexander-Arnold didn't even know where he was. And playing on the shoulder is only going to suit players like Bruno, players like Maximin, players like Fraser to constantly be either slipping him or just pinging balls to him. So I'm excited to see that develop. And I do think he's going to score tomorrow. We saw enough of him in a very difficult game at Anfield to create the chances that he did for himself and bang them in no bother. I'm backing him to score. Overall, I'm just very, very confident for tomorrow. I'm excited to get him St. James's Park because I think there's definitely another 3 points on the horizon, which is going to have us sitting very pretty in the table, can I just say. Unfortunately, though, my dog has not matched my optimism. Maggie has actually gone for a draw. Bit disappointing. I did speak to her about it earlier. She just thinks Crystal Palace are going to bring a little bit of something, so she's gone for the draw. She's not doing too badly on right to wrong. I think she's 2 for 3. She's got 2 right and 3 wrong, so, you know, that may balance out as the season goes on. But, hey, she's gone for a draw. I'm not necessarily saying I'm backing her on this one, because I'm a little bit more confident than her. But, hey, she maybe hasn't been for a long enough walk today. So if you are Newcastle fans, if you are new to Black and White Banter, as I mentioned at the start of the video, make sure you drop down, give us one of these. It just takes literally a second to click that thumbs up or thumbs down. Hey, all the thumbs help. And make sure you drop us a subscribe as well to get notifications if you've liked this opinion and you'd like more. And if you haven't already checked out the Liverpool away day vlog, just go down and give that one a click as well. They take a lot of time to put together. So, hey, least you could do is watch 5 minutes of it. The whole thing, preferably. And I've got no doubts I'll touch down, hopefully, for another match day vlog. I might get out in there and do another one around St. James's Park. But without a doubt, I'll be touching down for a match review. Hopefully, 3 points better off and a little bit further up that Premier League table. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I get me inside that stadium. I'll see you on the next one. Away the lads.